Morning.
Hey, morning, Ian. How's it going?
Good. I haven't made my coffee yet, so I'm like
Oh, got my
maybe a little jittery and slow.
got my tea as usual.
Oh, there you go.
Did the Christmas theme out at Starbucks now.
Yeah, I guess it's not American Thanksgiving up here. We're straight into the Christmas vibes.
Yeah, they might not roll that out in the U.S. until after Thanksgiving. I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah. I guess happy Thanksgiving to everyone south of the border and who celebrate I'll say the late Thanksgiving as a Canadian.
Totally. Yeah, definitely the late Thanksgiving.
It's one of my favorite things to do is to rib Americans about the timing and their fake Thanksgiving or the late one, etc. It's like
I
so
know.
much of a reaction, and it's relatively harmless one.
Why don't they celebrate Thanksgiving when it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I guess it snows earlier up here. That's the big one.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
true.
that's how I've explained. I haven't actually dug into the real reasons, but my assumption was that the harvest comes earlier, and so harvest festival has to be earlier.
Mm, yeah, yeah, that would make sense. It's foot of snow, foot and a half of snow on the ground in Canmore at least.
Oh, it dumped. Yeah,
Yeah. I think
probably just before you got back, right? Hopefully.
just after, like the
Yeah.
day I got back, yeah, I woke up to about a foot and a half of snow. But the mountains got pummeled. Like Lake Louise and Sunshine, I think got like 70 centimeters of snow in like 48 hours, something like that. So
Time to get out skiing.
big pow time. It's great. Snow in
Yeah.
the mountains. Maybe don't snow as much off of them, but no, I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Well, we get about half that here in the city, which is great. It's fun to shovel. Kids
Yeah,
love it.
well, it'll all melt next week, anyways.
It's
Maybe.
gonna be that bad. I thought it was supposed to be really cold this weekend.
It was. I saw maybe like 2 degrees. There's Americans like 34 degrees in the forecast. But
Oh, it is warmer next week. I don't know, around zero here.
yeah, might not melt.
Yeah. So we just got back. We just got back
Yeah,
from a whirlwind trip in China. I think I was on the ground for 47 hours, something like that.
you were
Uh,
probably in the air for about the same amount of
yeah,
time that you're on
you
the
were
ground.
there for a little longer, but only maybe a day.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, it was pretty wild experience. I think it probably starts with, uh, you know, coming from a North American company. There's lots of concerns always with IP and technology and the rest. So we were advised against bringing our cell phones or computers or any of that stuff. So we went with like a naked iPad, uh, which made travel a little bit interesting.
I I never appreciated how much I like, maybe not appreciated, but realized how much I need my cell phone for everything as a sort of two-factor authentication, right? It's like
Yeah.
anything that you do, maybe I'm just set up that way, but anything that I tried to do is like, well, we're going to send you a text with a code. It's
Yeah.
like, well, now I need to message my wife
Yeah.
to give me that code, but she's asleep because we're literally 12 hours apart. So,
I think, I mean, there's two-factor authentication everywhere, but my impression was that a lot of the apps and a lot of the things we want to use as well in China were very tied to mobile devices and to your mobile phone.
yeah,
Email wasn't really an option in the way it is in North America with a lot of these apps. And so, like, I think even trying to get tickets to go see Tiananmen Square or the Forbidden City, we were struggling to do it. We weren't able to in the end, but actually getting it required a cell phone number. And so it's just, yeah, very interesting. Like the mobile forward society they've built around that tech stack and the way everything is meant to operate.
totally. And just how like nobody uses cash. It's
Yeah.
all through WeChat Pay or Alipay, and then they ping your bank account. Your bank's like, what's this strange transaction happening
Yeah.
that you can't authenticate? uh,
And nothing like tapping with a 13-inch iPad.
yeah, the gate agent made fun of
Tablet, like,
the gate agent made fun of me, telling that it was the biggest ticket she's ever seen. But yeah, I mean that it's really interesting to see what they have set up over there. But
Well, it's been almost 20 years since the last time I was in Beijing, and it was just so noticeable to see how much everything has progressed and changed. And, obviously a very modern city today. They've got concentric ring roads. I think the last time I was there, they were on Ring Road 3 or 4. Now they're on Ring Road 6. That was pretty impressive. I think you had some pictures even just flying in, though, just of what's taking place.
Yeah, I was blown away at the scale of just the infrastructure. I think I flew in at a really great time to see the shadows casting over all of that infrastructure. So you kind of get a really good idea of the scale, and just like the clusters of apartment buildings, where you see 25, 30-story apartment buildings that are all the same in a cluster, and those just all over the place. And yeah, I've got a really great picture of it, and it looks really impressive because of the shadows. But also things like offshore rigs, offshore wind farms coming in, the scale of greenhouses as well. I've got a really good picture of that, but it's like it's as far as the eye can see, and it's like it looks a little bit dystopian almost, because it's like the center of Beijing. You even see that flying in.
Yeah.
It's almost hard to recognize the center of the city, just because everything is like that high everywhere. There's a few buildings downtown that are huge, but not that many actually, right?
Yeah.
And and it just goes as far as the eye can see. Maybe I'll post the picture of that picture that I have in the chat after this, but it's really interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable. And I think somewhere another podcast made the observation is just like such a nation of builders, and even just senior officials are generally speaking more of an engineering background versus North America tends to be more of a legal or lawyer type of background. And I think you could feel the sense of just build it or just try it, even in the conference I had. And a lot of the conversations like, hey, we're not sure we'll build one. We're not sure we'll do like 50 test pilots, or or even the presentations, which were very senior level people in making presentations, but half of them had engineering single line diagrams on there, or pictures of heavy equipment, things that I would have expected from engineering school. Like, hey, this is like a really cool technical presentation. But that's sort of like, you can feel the mindset, and you look at it with the cranes and the construction, and it's just like, you can do stuff. And so there's less, you got the sense there's like less need to spend a ton of time planning and more time like doing and experimenting.
Totally. Yeah. I got the sense of that too with the conference, and even just flying in as well. Like the other component was just seeing, 10 transmission lines next to each other, like high voltage, just plowing through everything. Right. They're just making it happen. And just seeing the scale of development from the CCUS perspective, even like that's what we're there for. It's the CCUS forum.
Yeah.
But 120 projects, on the go.
Test project.
Yeah, test project.
Like, hey, we'll do 120 of them.
Like they're going to be at world leading from a CCUS perspective, which you might not think from China, right? Like from an actual decarbonization perspective, and they're looking at leading that and learning from everybody else.
Yeah, it was impressive. Like the tone too of the necessity for it. Very serious about decarb, at least in that lens and in that setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And even the conference center, right? Like it was the host conference center for themselves. And you could just almost imagine the narrative at one point, like, well, we're doing these conference type events all the time, blah, 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 right? I think here we would be very captive, like finding a good venue or a nice hotel or a place to do it. It's like, actually, we'll just build one. And we'll build a hotel there as well. So there's places for people to stay. And we need like a large dining hall, so we'll set that up. And we want to do private dinners. We'll make sure there's like private dining rooms there as well. And then we need like breakout rooms as well around like this beautiful large conference venue. Like we'll make sure those are set up. Like it was just like super cool and amazing that like an individual entity would own that for their own use. And again, it's a big entity, but like it seems like such a foreign thing.
Yeah, it does. I mean, maybe you'd see that with like the Metas and Apples of the world with their
Maybe, yeah,
campus.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be the extent of it for sure. I don't. I'm not sure if they have hotel rooms like Meta. Oh, if Meta or Apple have hotel
Yeah,
rooms.
maybe. Who knows? But it's just good to see that sort of thing and like the possibility.
Yeah.
I think the other one too, like you and I wandered down around the city for a few hours. Just the EVs, right? I think everyone knows that there's lots taking place there, but I think it caught me just how quiet everything was. And,
Yeah, that was like the first comment you made
yeah.
when we got on the street. It's like it's almost eerie how quiet it was.
Yeah, and maybe it's the scooters are the biggest thing. Like in lots of parts of the world, two-wheel transportation is a big part of how people get around, especially when the weather's not too bad. But all the scooters were electric, and so not having that like put thing going on. Even at the intersection, like at least the area of town we were in, probably half the cars were EVs. It's just like noticeable how quiet everything was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see. I mean, you can tell exactly which ones are the EVs and the green and blue plates.
Yeah, that was because you can literally count them that way.
Yeah. There's no guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Amazing experience. And I think maybe just on the actual topics, so you touched on a bit, like 120 plus projects. There's just certainly it was an international forum, so the idea was to help transfer information, and I think they're very open to business, and that was something that we both took away from it. But I think that paradoxically, it's amazing how little information I think we all have about what's really happening on the ground there, and without attending and being there in person, it's like, yeah, you knew there's a lot going on. We knew that the public statistics were pretty limited, but I don't think we appreciated the scale of what is happening behind the veil.
Well, I mean, you definitely hear the scale of what they're building from, say, an energy capacity perspective.
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough.
We definitely hear from solar, wind, coal, like even EV adoption, right? But I think something that has been a little bit more silent is CCUS, right? And I think that was made apparent that they are doing it at the same scale as they're doing everything else, right? They're not half-assing it, that's for sure. Which is cool to see.
Yeah.
Very
neat.
There's also some interesting speakers I thought, like what was his name? Dr. Alan Miles, I think from Oxford, presented on the concept of geological net zero. I thought was pretty interesting in terms of, instead of looking at emissions, looking at the actual carbon extracted from the earth and talking about, the geological net zero is for every, kilogram of carbon that's produced now needs to be sequestered to actually be net zero, right? And there's some implications for carbon accounting on that. And he's actually got I think he was presenting on a paper that he published in Nature called Geological Net Zero. I'll post that as well in the chat. But I thought that was just an interesting perspective to look at it, because if you look at geological net zero, he had a number of scenarios there that looked like that illustrated that we're not going to reach geological net zero by 2100. Like we will still be extracting CO2 from the ground in some form of another, in some way or another.
Yeah, it was it was fascinating. I think part of his effort, I talked to him briefly, was to try and disaggregate sort of what's happening above surface from below surface, and there's a lot of effort to maybe net it out with planting trees and things like that. And I guess I'm pretty sympathetic to that mathematics. I feel like both these things are incomplete. Like the emissions is obviously the actual emissions piece. I think the geological net zero is like if you componentize the whole thing, if it's already kind of permanently stored in the form of hydrocarbons and you extract it, maybe that makes sense. I do think the biosphere side of it makes sense too, though, because you do have rampant deforestation and things like that. But being able to isolate the two components and maybe emissions are the measure, although fraught from an accounting standpoint, really does help clarify where the problems are. And for me, clarity of the problem allows a little bit more precise action.
Yeah, I think that's part of what's argued in his
Yeah,
paper as
it was
well.
a really cool paper for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to bring that up because I have a webinar with Mark Sifka, who's the COO and co-founder of AirMine, which
Oh,
is
nice.
a direct air capture company, looking at sort of like standard processes for direct air capture.
Yeah,
But I just wanted to tie that with the geological net zero piece, that we won't reach net
yeah,
zero by 2100, so we need direct air capture. And if you're listening to this, that goes live on December 3rd, I think at 11 a.m. Central. So I'll put that in the chat as well. Got a bunch of things.
yeah. Definitely don't miss that one. But cool. Well, that's all I have for today. But
Yeah, no, that's all I have too. I'm assuming you're not jet lagged at all, because it's too quick.
I'm actually really good. Yeah, not long enough to really get adjusted. So
Yeah,
hopefully you're good too.
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's too quick. Anyways, always good to catch up. I know we hadn't done this in a while,
yeah,
so good to do it. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. Everybody watching, thanks for watching. All you Americans, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're enjoying it with your families, and hope you get to eat too much food and too much turkey and watch some football, I'm sure.
yeah. Enjoy. Well, happy Thanksgiving and good to see you again, Graham.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Sure
See ya.